Boom, what's good everybody? I'm gonna sit down in this video and film a little bit of an update on what's been happening over the past few months since I posted my last video, what it's been like stepping into sales ops or sales management full time, and yeah, key lessons that I've learnt, managing a team, scaling, systems, everything. A lot of personal lessons, but also a lot of business specific lessons as well. So yeah, it's been a wild ride over the past 2 months. Time absolutely flies once you step in and take more control and take more leadership for how a business is running. And tell you what, leading a team and being in charge of performance is extremely rewarding and fulfilling. So yeah, a lot has changed over the past 2 months, to say the least. But yeah, let's sit down and record the video. So yeah, it was about 30 days ago. I stepped full time into sales ops and sales management, and it has been an incredible past 30 days. So just want to sit down and share the key lessons, what it's been like leading a team, what it's been like installing new systems and new procedures into place. A few personal lessons, but I'd say more so business specific lessons. So for the guys that are in sales, this is going to be very relevant to you, how you can manage yourself better as a sales representative, how easy you actually have it as a sales rep, and more so what I see the future being like within sales ops. So first lesson I want to start with here is you can always work harder and you can always do so much more than what you think you can actually do, okay? As a sales rep, you think you're busy, right? You think that you think you're working for 8 hours a day, you think you're working for 9 hours per day just because your calendar has calls for that period of time. You get to the end of the day and you've only had 3 show-ups, you've only had 4 show-ups. What did you do for the remainder of that day? Okay, so now that I'm responsible for an operation and leading a team, it is very apparent to me that as a sales rep, it is very easy. And sometimes you don't even realize how much time you're actually wasting during the day that could be spent towards revenue generating activities. So as a sales rep, you definitely have it easier, and it is definitely there's a lot less responsibility just being responsible for your own calendar. But what that also means is if you just sat down and actually dedicated times towards revenue generating activities using something like my Tower of Power SOP, right? Which is making sure that you're always doing the highest leverage activity at all given times, such as, okay, you get a no-show, what's the sequence do you follow? You smash through new leads, you do self-set, right? Then you want to go through and do outbound follow-up, no-shows, reschedules, for example, right? Bringing cash forward. You need to make sure that every minute of your day is actually spent on revenue generating activities, because as a sales rep, you get paid by the cash that you bring into the business, not by how pretty the admin looks, right? Yes, admin is important. That's one of the biggest things I've deployed into this operation that I'm managing now, but the admin gets done and the admin is smooth so that you can spend that time focusing on making money. So the first lesson is, as a sales representative, you waste so much time during the day on meaningless shit that if you just dedicated and focused on using the hours that you have during the day towards actually doing revenue generating activities, you would, I'm not even joking, double your income without getting incredibly better at this skill. So that's the first lesson. The second lesson is more of a personal lesson, but is really important for anyone that's in the sales industry or in the sales space to really internalize and understand this, is that never ever let other people project their limitations, their insecurities, or their fears onto you. Because especially if it's somebody that you believe is higher up or in a better position than you in the sales space, earning more commission in a management role, never, ever let them project onto you or hold you back, right, from taking the next step into something. And I think a lot of people actually do this unconsciously, especially in the sales space, is that they will, maybe they don't believe that they can achieve a higher commission. Maybe they don't believe that they can go from 10K a month to 30K a month, because for them to comprehend what would need to happen, because they're only thinking, man, that means I've got to take 3 times as many calls and I've got to work 3 times as hard. That's not possible. It's going to require so much of me. No, it's not. You just do higher leverage activities and you actually use the time that you're already spending during the day towards doing productive things. You're going to naturally increase your income. Skill is something that you learn over time, right? It's what I'm teaching my reps at the moment, is that we can get laser focused, and I'm going to turn you into an elite level sales rep, but that comes with time. The way you get better at the skill is by taking more calls, so you've got more reps. So why don't we just focus on the higher leverage activity right now, the 80-20, which is, let's get more calls onto your calendar. Let's take you from 3 live calls a day to 6 live calls a day. Then what's going to happen? You're naturally going to make more cash. You're naturally going to get better at the skill because you're seeing more people. So where I'm going with this is, people will naturally project their limiting beliefs and their projections onto you because they don't believe something is possible. Never let somebody else's pathetic beliefs or pathetic limitations hold you back from doing something. If you know deep down that you are capable of something and you know that it's the right step, you need to take it. Okay, I think a lot of guys in the sales space as well limit their self because they're afraid of what other people are going to think. Fuck what other people think, all right? Sales is a performance-driven sport. We only get paid by the value that we provide, whether that's being a sales rep, whether that's being a consultant, whatever you do in the sales space, you are only getting paid from the value that you deliver, right? So put yourself first and make sure that your income and your goals and your future comes before anybody else's vision for you, okay? And now I can see this picture so clearly, right? Being a sales manager and being a sales leader, that I want so much more from my team, right? And they deserve so much more, but they're holding themselves back from making that full reach and fully committing because they're scared. Right? Scared they're going to fail, scared that they're going to put in those extra hours, double the amount of time that they're actually putting in, which will just equate to normal working hours in a week anyway, and they're not going to get the result that they're looking for, right? So it's never an activity problem, it's never an opportunity problem. You can make as much money on any offer as you want, it's a commitment problem. And those commitments come from beliefs that you've accepted to be true, which are completely bullshit about either your offer, the industry, the space, or you're letting other bullshit people in the space project their beliefs onto you. So I should have taken this step a lot sooner than I did, but I'm glad that I did. Purely, I mean, first of all, God has a plan, right? And I have complete faith and conviction that God has a plan for me and that everything is going to work out perfectly, because everything always does. Everything always works out perfectly in my life for me, right? It just happens that way. I'm one of God's chosen ones, okay? What I'm saying is, as salespeople, we are experts at rationalizing away any situation to make it seem more comfortable and more safe for us. But the more you hold up that mirror to yourself and you actually explore the truth, is what this person is saying about my industry or saying about this situation true, and actually seeking the truth for yourself, you are going to find that behind this veil is the truth that you've been waiting for. The magic you're looking for is on the other side of the work you're avoiding, okay? So that's the second lesson, which is more of a personal one, which is a lot of people in the sales space, it's a very ego-driven industry, right? A lot of people want to project, or they want to hold you back from getting to that higher commission, because then it's going to look bad on them and it's going to show up their insecurities because they know they're not doing everything in their power to grow and succeed and prosper. So whether that's going from, you know, like an average sales rep to like a higher tier sales rep, making like 40, 50, 60, sometimes like 80K a month, right? There's a lot of people that are going to be down in that lower class of like 10, 15K a month that are going to be scared of you overtaking them, that they're going to say, oh, it's not possible, right? Whether you're going from like an elite sales rep to like a sales manager or sales leader, a lot of people are going to hold you back again. They're going to say, oh, it's not possible. You don't have enough experience, right? Like you've never managed before. How are you going to land a client? Or I don't know, like, is there enough people out there to do it? A lot of people are going to project their beliefs onto you, but they're doing that because it's coming from a place of insecurity. So all love to those people, right? And nothing against people that hold you back. You just have to bear in mind that you kind of have to, respectfully, I decline. You know, I don't see that you've actually taken that step or made that transition. So I hear where you're coming from, but I don't choose to buy into that belief, right? You have to be able to be congruent with yourself and be so absolutely fucking careful about the beliefs and what you're accepting to be true. Self-talk, like one of the best self-help books of all time, right? Fuck all the other ones, is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. It's a book on self-talk. It's a book on your verbal language that you're using every day and how you speak to yourself. What do you accept to be true? What are you listening and what are you taking in from the people around you on a daily basis that you don't even know? What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. One of the best books ever. Completely changed the way I talk to myself, right? I have deep-rooted belief that God has a plan for me, right? I'm one of God's chosen ones. That's just who I am. Everything always works out perfectly for me, and I craft every situation to work in my favor because I can 100% craft my reality to whatever the fuck I want it to be, right? That's a very good belief to have, right? I believe that true. At the root of my core and my being, I know that everything always works out for me and I can do anything I fucking set my mind to, right? Imagine if you had that belief system. Imagine if you operated with that every single day. Do you think you'd let these other people hold you back? Do you think you'd let these other sales reps or let a sales manager or people that are projecting their bullshit onto you, do you really think you would let that hold you back from getting what you want? I truly believe that a lot of guys in the sales space, it's not a skill issue, right? It's not a, I don't know, like, I just don't believe that it's necessarily a skill or an offer issue. I believe it's a you being scared to fully commit to something and fucking fail, right? Like this, just the thought of a what if, sitting there like, oh yeah, like watching these other guys on the sidelines like make good money. Like, fuck that, make that be you, right? Like, do you, like, the thought of sitting on the sidelines and like talking shit about somebody else doing well, it's just not like, man, it just really doesn't sit right. Like, I just can't live with a what if or like, oh, what if that works? Like you have to fucking try, dude, right? And God rewards you, man. You take a step, you take a plunge, things work out. If I explain to you the amount of things that have happened for me in a perfect order since taking this step into management and leadership, you'd be like, nah, that's not real. That doesn't make sense. But it does make sense because I'm one of God's chosen ones and everything always works out perfectly for me, right? You have that belief, you take that step, things happen for you. God rewards you for believing in yourself and taking that plunge. Okay, so that's the second lesson, which is a long one, but really important for you to understand. I believe if you internalize that lesson and you actually implement what I've just explained to you, that is going to be the biggest unlock for you in the sales space. The only limit that you have is the one that you set on yourself. Okay, you can earn as much money as you want on any offer. You just got to put in the fucking work and not be afraid to fail. That's all it is. Believe in yourself. Okay. Third lesson I have here is systems and first principles thinking, okay? Now, as a sales representative, you don't necessarily have to think that far ahead. You just look at your next day, you look at your calendar, how many calls are on my calendar for tomorrow, right? Are they all confirmed? How many no-shows did I have today? Which is how you're supposed to think as a sales rep, right? It's a high-performance sport, and you just need to be absolutely maniacal about obsessing over your craft and executing your day as perfectly as you can every single day. You just need to focus on showing up as your best self today, following your process to a fucking T, and just being excellent every single day. That's all it is, okay? Obsession over mastery of your craft, okay? But when you step into management and leadership, you have to zoom out a little bit, right? You have to think a little bit more long-term than that. And first principles thinking is really, really, really important for that. But also, if you can start to think that way as a sales rep, it is going to massively impact your results and your performance, okay? One of the biggest things that my mentor is teaching me at the moment is the epistemic constraint, right? The one problem that if you fixed would have the greatest impact upon everything else, and actually the second order effect of that would solve this problem that you're trying to solve at the moment anyway, right? So the example that I shared earlier is being able to kill two birds with one stone. You are naturally going to get better at the skill of sales. You're naturally going to reach that elite level if you just have more calls on your calendar, right? Because that gives you more reps to speak to more people. Your close rate is going to stay, 30, 40%. You're naturally going to close more people. It's going to give you more certainty and confidence and conviction that you're good at the skill of sales. You're making more money. So because you're in that high frequency from seeing more people and making more money, the skill is going to flow. You're going to have more reps, right? So the epistemic constraint would be, well, you're not seeing enough people to actually get good at the skill of sales, right? For example, the way a sales system works, you need to look at the funnel from the top down. What's the point in trying to get better at objection handling if your fucking show rate is at 30%? That seems obvious, right? But what you need to understand is that 99% of people in this industry, 99% of people when they think of sales and their craft, they're trying to do the cool shit, like objection handling, when that was your only call for the past 2 days. Why the fuck are you training objection handling when you should be doing outbound dialing, booking more people on your calendar, right? This is the way you need to think. If you're stepping into any form of management or any form of consulting, you need to be able to think further ahead than objection handling, okay? If you actually wanted to make $50,000, $60,000 per month in commissions, you need to be able to think like a business owner. You run a business. Very, very, very small percentage of the population even reach that level of income. So you need to think like a business owner, okay? So that's more so the overarching lesson is first principles thinking, right? 80-20 principle is a very, very important one that I see showing up in my day on a lot of key decisions that I'm making, right? If you spend 80% of your time focusing on 20% of the work that you do that provides 80% of the result, well, you're gonna get the result, right? So as a sales manager, it's more so looking at the system overall and looking at it as if it's a pipe, okay? The water flows through a pipe. Where's the biggest blockage? Where's the first blockage? Okay, the first blockage is show rate. You're only getting like 40% of people showing up. If you lift that to 60%, you are going to have significant amount more water flow through that pipe. Rather than fixing a little leak at the bottom, which is objection handling, that is going to have zero impact over your income. So as a sales rep or whoever is watching this, manager, whatever, you need to start thinking in terms of making more cash, making more money. The golden metric as a sales operator is cash collected per book call. You need to be able to raise the amount of cash that you're collecting per call, per rep, okay? And then as a sales representative, it's offers per closer per day. So you need to all you need to think about is I need to see as many fucking people as I can. I need to be pitching, I need to be presenting to as many people as I can today. The admin, like what's the go with people being slack with admin? Like you do admin at the start of the day, you admin at the end of the day. The middle of your day is for making money, revenue generating activities, okay? So that's the third thing. If you're a sales rep watching this, start to study first principles thinking. Start to study the great mental models, right? Cause and effect, the 80-20 principle, right? The epistemic constraint. Start to think in terms of how can I do less and get more, right? I'm just gonna leave that side. I don't wanna get too deep into this, okay? The fourth lesson I have here is more of a personal one, but it blends into business as well, is understanding psychology and understanding how you need to perform and how you need to show up on a daily basis to guarantee that you get the result that you're looking for, okay? I walked through this example with my team the other day on how to wire your brain and how to hack your brain to ensure that you achieve the result no matter what, okay? Now, as a sales representative, you need to be acutely aware of how the brain works and how psychology plays a ginormous factor into somebody making a purchasing decision or not with you and your company, okay? So think about this. If you want to make $40,000 per month in commission and you want to achieve that sometime this year, I want to make it in 2026. Okay, when? In the next 90 days? On like the end of the year? Like, how are you going to make it? Your subconscious mind accepts everything at face value to be true, right? If you're vague with your goals and if you're vague with your intentions, your subconscious mind is going to be like, oh, well, he's not that serious about it, so we don't really need to put that much attention and that much focus on it. That's how your subconscious mind works. This is why self-talk and specificity is so important. If you want to make $40,000 per month, then you're going to make that within the next 90 days. And I'm going to make that by taking 6 live calls per day at a 30% close rate. And I'm going to work Saturdays and Sundays for the next 90 days of my life, right? And achieving this result is going to allow me to X, Y, Z. It's going to allow me to support my parents. It's going to allow me to help them pay off the mortgage. It's going to allow me to go on a vacation or go on a trip with my partner that we haven't been on in the past 3 years. It's going to allow me to reinvest into my skill set, into a sales mentor, into somebody that understands psychology and personal development, right? Because now, look, you have specificity behind the goal that you're trying to reach. The way the subconscious mind works is if you're not specific with the goal that you're setting, if you're not attaching a positive outcome to your goal, well, your subconscious mind is very good at doing what? At protecting you, right? Our brains are still wired from caveman days. We are wired to be protected from threat and protected from danger. That is how your subconscious mind works, right? So what was I saying earlier? Beliefs. Bullshit beliefs that people accept and then project onto you. Why do we have those beliefs? Because we're protecting ourselves from embarrassment. We're protecting ourselves from failure. We're protecting ourselves from having to go through pain and experience something that means we have to change our character and our identity. Your subconscious mind is always protecting the version of yourself that you are right now because we like who we are. It's comfortable, it's safe. It means we don't have to go outside and explore and get into danger. The subconscious mind gets to the extreme. It thinks we're gonna have to go out and hunt. Maybe we're gonna get attacked and killed by a predator, but you're not. You're just trying to make more money and get more fake digits into this fake device bank account thing. Like crypto, it's just basic numbers and digits on a screen. It's not even fucking real. It's not even real, and we're scared to go and like try and make more money. So like it should fucking blow your mind, the fact that we protect ourselves from nothing, right? So it's really, really, really important that you understand how to attach positive outcomes and a positive destination to the goal that you're aiming for. So I did this exercise with one of my reps and we went pretty deep into beliefs and goal setting, and we're like, okay, well, you making $40,000 per month in the next 90 days, what are you attaching to that? Like, what would that allow you to do? Getting to $40,000 per month, walking them through a sales call, right? And it's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a fucking problem, dude. And I'm like, all right, well, like, what are you actually associating with achieving that goal? Oh, I mean, like taking more calls, like handling more objections, facing more rejection, working the weekends, right? And I guess like, how am I going to sustain that? How am I going to sustain that performance? So you're really fucking clear on the negative outcomes that are associated with reaching that goal, but no positive outcomes. Well, why are you ever going to work towards something if you're just viewing it as incredibly painful? Your mind and your subconscious mind is thinking that's just danger. That's just pain and suffering. I'm going to protect. Your subconscious mind thinks I'm going to protect bend from going towards that direction because it's a threat, it's danger, pain, suffering, danger, threat. Zero positive outcome attached to it. Does that not fucking make sense? And everybody is the same. I was like this as well. I was like, I want to hit this goal, but why? You actually need to get clear on your goals. So many people in this space will say, oh, goal settings, it's not the right thing to do, you know. Yeah, just work hard and put in the hours. Okay, yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah. That's why you're still at 10K a month, is it? Right. No worries, man. So get clear on your goals. Actually write down what you want to hit. I can guarantee you speak to any top performer in the space, sales, business. You study people like Elon Musk. You study people like Kobe, Michael Jordan. Start to compare yourself to people that are absolute titans in the industry. If Elon, if John D. Rockefeller, if people like Ben Horowitz, if business moguls, right? Steve Jobs. Start to compare yourself to these people. If they have goals and they know what they want and they're specific, why aren't you, right? Zoom out, think bigger, okay? Attach a real, tangible, positive outcome to the goal that you're striving for, such as making $40,000 per month would allow me to do so many things. For me, it's being able to support my parents that are a little bit older, right? Paying off their mortgage. I want to give them the life that they deserve, that they never got to live because they didn't have the opportunities that I have to make the money that I make and be able to support and provide for them, right? Setting up a life for my future partner and my future kids now. I'm 24. I have an incredible life ahead of me, but I'm building this now. I'm putting everything in place, laying the foundation so that by the time I'm 30, I can start a family and live an incredible life and give exactly everything that I want to give to my children, right? Start thinking bigger than just like make a bit of money and buy a watch. Cool, buddy. That's going to get you really far. Start to think bigger. Ask yourself why you want to achieve these goals, okay? Sales and what we do in this space, whether you're a manager, whether you're a rep, it is 80. Some people say it's 80. I believe it's 90% mindset, 10% skill. Now, yes, there's the question to be asked, well, if you were so good at the skill that you could close 70% of the people you would speak to, would you still have these mindset issues? No, you wouldn't, okay? But if you zoom out further, the way you get better at the skill is by taking more fucking calls in the first place, right? If you don't have that understanding of actually why you want to get better at the skill, because you're going to have beliefs that are going to hold you back from investing in a mentor, investing in a sales coach, right? Investing in somebody that's going to get you good at the skill, we're never going to get to where you want to go, unfortunately, right? So they're probably the biggest lessons I've learned so far. I'm not going to disclose private details just yet because that's just business and that's how I like to run my sales agency, right? But I will be disclosing numbers very shortly. I am scaling the organization and the company that I'm working with to $1 million per month in 2026. So tune the fuck in, because my reps, I'm going to make them absolute ninjas and absolute weapons at their craft this year. I will be making serious salespeople a lot of fucking money this year through the organization and through the company that I'm scaling. So as a leader, I really do see the importance now of having a clear and a big vision and understanding that people and reps, their vision can fall into your vision. I need to have a vision so big and so grand that people naturally come with you, right? But at the root of my core, I know exactly what I want, exactly where I'm going, exactly how long it's going to take me. Plus, I'm a child of God. I know that He has the perfect plan for me, right? Everything is going to work out perfectly for me. So tune the fuck in, because this channel is going to be extremely valuable moving forward. I also have a private Telegram channel that I'm going to link at the bottom of this video as well, where I'm going to be dropping in daily voice notes, weekly voice notes on what I'm seeing, what I'm learning week by week, scaling an operation. To give you a bit of context, I am scaling a property specific offer in Australia, working with high level people. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's where we're going. I'm going to be posting more consistent YouTube videos, I'll probably say one a fortnight, maybe one a month, just sharing the key lessons that I've learned, hiring, building out systems, right? What worked, what didn't work, the bottlenecks, so that people can watch this, right? And they can actually learn and implement. It's going to be applicable for sales reps, going to be applicable for sales ops, sales leaders, right? So you can see the decisions that I'm making and the guidance that I'm getting from my mentor and how he's teaching me to think about an entire operation and an entire business. My decisions literally affect 2, 3, 4 weeks out. As a sales rep, you have one bad call, it's not that bad. As a leader, you start to think more long-term, right? One thing I didn't add before is that systems have a natural tendency to decay. So you need to learn first principles in systems thinking, because the system that you're currently running or using has a natural tendency to decay. So if you're not growing, you are literally dying. You are a part of a greater system, which is your company and your offer. But more importantly, you and your little system and how it fits into that is naturally going to decay. So have a clear vision, where you're going, what you want, why. Actually rewire your brain to force a positive outcome and a positive association to your goal. Otherwise, subconsciously, you're naturally going to self-sabotage. You're naturally not going to want to take more calls. You're naturally not going to do everything in your fucking power to change the life of the person on the other end of the phone, right? Learning the skill of sales is simple and straightforward when you understand why you're learning the skill, okay? Objection handling, deep dive and discovery is straightforward and simple if you understand why you need to get good at that skill in the first place, right? So tune in, follow the YouTube, follow my Instagram, join the Telegram channel. I'm going to be dropping in daily voice notes. If you're not a sales rep, or if you're not a leader, or if you're just a baby bird, if you don't really care about becoming elite, don't join the channel, because I want that channel to be a group of people that are elite that actually care about getting better and making serious money in this space. I think what a lot of people need to realize is that as a sales rep, there's so much more to just being, there's so much more in the sales space out there for you to get. Now, no, if you are an early sales rep, you can't just transition into like leadership or consulting immediately. You have to actually learn the foundations and learn how to execute at a high level before being competent enough to take that next step. But also at the same time, like, it just depends what you want from life, right? I am a natural born leader, and I love systems and I love building things, and I love business in general. I'm going to be in business for the next 30, 40, 50 years, continuously building things. This is just, I'm only just getting started in my business journey. Right, I'm nearly 5 years in. We're only just getting started, really, right? So you need to understand who you are as a person. If you really enjoy being independent, well, then master sales. But if you think in systems and you want to build a business, or you feel like you're a bit more of a leader and you're more of a builder, we'll start to think that way and start to actually plan what you're going to build. But you just sitting in this in-between ground, not really fully committing to being a good sales rep, maybe at like 10, 20K a month, like, I don't really enjoy calls that much, it's not for me. But if you're half in the door of like watching info guys, scaling and marketing and doing that kind of stuff, if you're just in between, the dangerous spot to be is in the middle, right? If you're not going to try anything, if you're not going to like get outside your comfort zone, just like, you might as well just fucking stop and just do something else. Commit to one path and commit to mastery, okay? The most fulfilling and the most rewarding journey you can ever go on is the pursuit of mastery. That is the biggest lesson that I've learned, right, over the past few months, is the money, it naturally comes, right? Like, I can put 50K into Bitcoin and it can just like bounce up and you can make good money, right? Money is fake, it's not even real, right? What warms you deep down and what fulfills you at the deepest part of your soul and your consciousness is the commitment to mastery at something. Look at Kobe, look at Michael Jordan, look at Tom Brady. These guys are open about it. They despise their craft, right? They don't necessarily enjoy what they do, but they love it because they're so good at it. And what greater pursuit for a human being than to embark on a journey towards mastery and excellence, okay? Look at the people you respect the most. Sometimes they're not even that well off. Sometimes they may not be the wealthy millionaire, billionaire, but they're an elite. But they are elite at what they do. They're so dedicated to their craft and their passion that they've committed their entire life on a journey. Like what better pursuit than that, okay? Because look, 100K a month, get there and like, okay, what's next, right? There's always gonna be a what's next. 200K a month, cool, what's next, right? There is always room to grow. You are always gonna be in the pursuit of money, okay? But recently, over the past few months, in my walk with God and connecting to Source, connecting to Jesus, I've realized that operating from a place of impact and serving, right, and putting other people before you allows you to always have endless motivation. Like burnout and slumps in sales, they're not real, they don't exist. It's just a cope so you can justify and rationalize your shit performance. If you were so clear on your goals and you were so clear on your purpose and where you're going in life and why, you wouldn't burn out, you wouldn't hit a slump, right? It's because you're not thinking long enough, you're not thinking further enough into the future. So those are the key lessons so far. And again, like, I absolutely love what I do because it's hard, right? And if it was easy, everybody would do it. And all these sayings are so basic and so corny, but it really is true, right? I love what I do because it's hard, and every day I'm learning something new and having to get outside my comfort zone and grow. But man, the money takes care of itself. When you actually are committed to mastery and being in the 1%, the funds, the money will naturally flow towards you. Okay, so that's the video done for now. If you've watched this all the way through to the end, good on you, right? You're not a goldfish and you're not just like a person that's got an extremely short attention span. You're actually committed to winning and succeeding at life. So yeah, that's the video. I'll wrap it up there. Subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Telegram channel. And yeah, more updates coming. I'm scaling this company to $1 million per month in 2026, and you guys get to watch everything that I get to do. So how fun. Free advice, free game, free lessons. So join me on the journey to $1 million a month. When you focus on making other people money, right, your goals and your effort naturally flows into that. Serve other people, serve the community, serve the industry. Don't just be so self-centered, okay? All right, peace out. I'm gonna wrap things up there. Probably do another video in about a week's time. I'll probably do a screen share going through data and systems. This is more so just a personal one, right? But yeah, easy. Peace out, guys.